welcome to EdTechX Stories. My name is Benjamin Vedrenne-Cloquet. I'm CEO and co-founder of EdTechX Holdings and partner at Ibis Capital. EdTechX Stories is a short weekly interaction with CEOs, founders, investors, and innovators shaping and making the future of education and work. So welcome to EdTechX Stories, and I hope you enjoy our next session. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Martin Basiri. I'm 33 years old. I was born in Iran, and 10 years ago, I immigrated to Canada. I live right now in Kitchener, which is like an hour from Toronto, and living with my wife and my family here. And I'm here today to talk about the new trends in education and a little bit about our company, ApplyBoard.
Martin Basiri, welcome to EdTechX Stories. You are the CEO and co-founder of ApplyBoard. ApplyBoard is the world's largest online platform for international recruitment in North America. And before we talk about your business, let me start with a personal question. How do you think you end up in that position? I mean, is there a defining moment or a defining someone in your life that led you to lead and co-found a EdTech business such as ApplyBoard?
So when I was 14-year old, I started like inventing new stuff. I was in Iran and I have now a lot of like inventions and stuff. And my uncle came from Canada, and there's not that much of a support for entrepreneurship in Iran. And my uncle came to Iran and he's seeing like all these devices that I'm building. Some of them I'm selling. I'm selling my patents. I'm very active. And he was like, these things exist in Canada called Dragon Den. Dragon Den is like a Shark Tank of Canada, right? It's the same show in Canada. And he said, if you go and you give them your invention, they will give you $50,000 so you can go and build a company out of it. This was like my North Star. Anyway, fast forward, now I'm an engineer making like a decent salary in Ohio, and something was missing in my life, that hustle and chasing something. I've done something, it failed, and we were like, okay, why not go back and help other people in the meantime to make some money to be able to fund the next project. And this time, instead of just go and doing it, like pick up a phone and help people, we were like, why don't we code this? So my brothers also joined me, and we started ApplyBoard with exactly the same thing, helping the students with their application stuff. And then we built this like a giant platform of helping universities, colleges, governments, like banks, students, counselors, everyone. We connect everyone together, and ApplyBoard was born.
So you turn your experience into a product.
Yes, yes.
Fascinating. So apply board mission statements. You say it's to make education accessible for everyone, regardless of nationality or location. And I guess you're the living example of this. Can you describe to us the platform a little bit and what makes it a better platform or different platform than other online student recruitment platforms?
Yes, absolutely. So first, Benjamin, like let me explain a little bit why is this mission is very important. So majority of people in the world don't have access to higher education. So right now there's 165 million people that are in higher education, and if only 50% of adults should have been in the school, we should have another 350 million people at the universities right now. Means for every one student that is at universities or colleges right now, there is two that they're not. And when you look at these people, majority exists in developing countries, right? All over Africa, Southeast Asia. India alone, we need 45 million new capacity in higher education to be able to, they get to 44% ratio of adult going to university and college. So now if you're looking at it at these countries that they don't have any infrastructure for higher education, or they don't have it enough for the whole society, these are actually the people who really need it the most. I came from that place. So one side of the world, we have talent, we have energetic, young, talent that need education and opportunity for life, and the other side we have too many opportunities for the number of people we have, and because just the bridge is broken. And that's exactly what our product does. If you were born as a child of someone in Bangladesh or Iran and your dad or mom only making $1.90 a day, you should also be able to get anywhere in the world. The opportunity should be similar. Just because I was born in Iran, I should not for rest of my life pay for opportunity if I'm a hard worker person. The way our platform works, we put all these universities and colleges admission information under one algorithm, and we structure the data, and we make this like a rule-based and AI-based algorithm that matches students with the right university. And we built this universal application system that you can apply to multiple applications with only multiple universities and colleges with only one application.
And so how many students are you serving right now?
Total since inception, we have I think 330,000 students.
And so now that you've built this big platform, what's the next 10 year for your company?
Some students like get a scholarship like the way that I came, but it's not a big percentage of people. And even those, they have to have like a very good education background already. They should have all the standards tests done. So it's it's not very much democratized yet. So I'm very interested to see like how can we solve this problem? How can we help someone have no money, still with a good opportunity? And it's just so exciting, you know, because for one side, like we have the platform, we have relationship with all the universities and colleges. Like, how can we have so much money? The problem is just like we need a lot of money. Education is very expensive, and Benjamin, I'm pretty sure you know that inflation and tuition fees is after medical services is the second most expensive and most inflation rate. So I think that's so becoming even more expensive.
Do you have a solution for financing?
I don't have a solution yet.
Yeah, I guess no, that's another big problem, right?
So much money. Where is all this money gonna come?
Let me ask you a question. I mean, your vision is very strong, and your passion is very obvious. So I'm sure you'll do very well, and ApplyBoard is going to continue to grow and conquer the world by establishing this big bridge. Um, I'm sure that yourself, you are a lifelong learner. So what are you learning right now?
Cryptos, uh, DAOs, I learned a lot about financial world. I'm learning a lot about how like banks work, because they have all the money in the world, right? They look at their balance sheet; they have trillions of dollars. So if we kind of like be able to like work with them, I can get the money that I need for financing these students, right? To me, yes, we've done some good stuff. You know, we have like 1,600 employees in 30 countries. Team worked very hard. We deserved it. But at the same time, like, when you're talking about like 350 million people today,
Yeah, there's a lot of work still to do.
we are nothing. We've solved nothing yet. There's so much work left. The good thing, I'm so happy that like I have time. I have another 50, 60 years in my life, minimum with the life expectancy today. I'm pretty sure by then it's gonna even go. So I kind of want to see that in, you know how like for example like in a country like for example like malaria went away. So when I was growing up, the fascinating thing for me was like this guy that helped uh, to eliminate malaria from Iran. And just imagine, like, for example, like you're 80 years old and you think about it and say, yeah, this problem solved forever for humanity. So just imagine, like, we can sit down end of our life and say, yeah, access to education is solved for humanity. Like, what would be the feeling?
Okay, well let's do again this interview in 20 years then, and let's see where you got to. But I'm sure you'll go very far. Martin, we're going to have to move to the next session of the interview. So it's called the rapid fire section. You have to answer by A or B, okay?
Sure.
So I'll start. Profit or impact?
Impact.
Students or shareholders?
Students.
Teacher or technology?
Both.
Ah, you can't say both.
Teacher.
State school or private school?
If I have to choose one, oh, this is hard one. I want to say both. I go private because I think the magnitude of problem is so big that I don't think like um, country like governments alone can
Mhm.
solve this, but
Can
private
yeah.
sector can do it. So I would go with private, even though I want to also say state.
That, and then the last one, IPO or stay private?
IPO.
Good. That was easy.
Yes.
Uh, Martin, the last question I have for you is, who would you like to nominate to be part of our next EdTechX stories, and tell us why, if you have someone in mind?
Have you heard Baiju, the company in India?
Yeah, of course I do.
I think you should interview the CEO of Baiju.
You think is also on a way to solve a big problem, right? Like you do.
I believe so, yes. You know, I do respect people who think big and they want to solve big problems. You know, especially in education, we really need like just think about it. We have Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Facebook on different area. Just imagine we had like a company the size of Amazon providing education globally. We need those companies, right? Like what's the biggest size company in education? $25 billion? It's like we haven't really like done it yet. Do something big, help a lot of people, millions of people. No one can say I help millions of people. You know, if we are all in the scale of thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, let's go help like millions of people, like hundreds of millions of people. We need those companies, and he's kind of a pioneer. I wish him very success, so I would nominate him.
Very good. Well, by Joy we come. Martin, thank you very much. This was Martin Basiri, co-founder and CEO of ApplyBoard for EdTechX Stories. Thank you very much, Martin.
Thank you very much for having me.